Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Richard, founder of STRU and Airbnb Superhost. Today I'm coming to you from Norfolk, Virginia. I literally just, traveled 2 full days to get here from Cannes, Australia, via Hong Kong to Vancouver to JFK to Norfolk. And with no sleep and traveling for 2 days, what am I doing? My man Charles drove 2.5 hours from Richmond to meet me. We're filming videos because I want to help you. So, I want to introduce a new series that I think is going to be super helpful. Basically, we have this great community on Facebook, about 15,000 hosts just like you from all over the world. And people post all sorts of questions, comments, concerns, ideas, challenges, whatever on there. And a lot of them really start to trend. There's a lot of really great information from hosts like you from all over the world. And I want to start sharing with you some of the comments that I think are really helpful. And I'm also going to give you what the host's perspective is, and then I'm going to give you my perspective. So without further ado, the first one comes from a great friend, Amy, who writes, "Perplexed. I had a sudden halt in bookings and I went from 90% occupancy over the last 3 months to a very meager looking May. I had been steadily increasing my rates, knowing that I could stand to lose a few bookings as long as I stayed within 75 to 80% occupancy with slightly higher rates. But now I'm wondering if I pushed it too far, as I have nothing coming in and calendars of those around me are much more full. What I find perplexing is that a room and bath in a home with a mini fridge and a microwave in a room, but no access to the living room, kitchen, laundry, or yard, can fetch $68 a night, and my 400 plus square foot studio with bed, sofa bed, dining table, fully stocked, etc. is unbooked at $98. I feel like I'm missing something." So that's her challenge, and that's what she posted in the community. And we had some really interesting and thoughtful comments that other people shared. Like, for instance, Sherry wrote, I just checked my Airbnb calendar and all of my days are blocked. No wonder I'm not getting any bookings. My home away calendar is fine. So this is an Airbnb problem. I'm on the phone with them now." Now that's a big issue, right? If Airbnb has blocked your calendar for some reason, whether inadvertently or you push something, of course you're not going to get any bookings. So you always want to be checking and making sure that it's not a technical glitch like Sherry experienced. Kayleen says, "May is pretty bare for me too so far. Getting bookings for June and July, so I suspect most guests are now waiting for summer to travel. My views have skyrocketed in the last week, probably from people planning their summer vacay. How are your views? Are people clicking on your listing, Amy?" And Amy then responds that her views were up at the beginning of May. Right now it says 0 views in the last 3 days. She snoozed her listing and then unsnoozed it, only to find that it was still snoozed. So once again, we've got technical issues, but this is how hosts and entrepreneurs are problem solving. Checking to see what the views are looking like, checking to see what the out months are looking like, what's going on here. And then people have some really technical advice, such as the checkout time seems to be a little bit late. And other people talk about some of the copy that she's written in her listing, that maybe that's not quite as successful as it could be, and so maybe she could improve that. Checkout times, things like that. People are really trying to help her drill down and understand why her bookings aren't really working. Sherry writes back that after working with Airbnb, she was able to go in and clear her calendars. She had to go in and clear her cache and her cookies and all that stuff. Then she had to delete the 2 synced calendars and import them both again, and it fixed the problem. She doesn't know why it happened in the first place, but it's now fixed. So, technical problem, spoke to Airbnb, had a solution, cleared the cache, and so on. And these are the kind of things that you may encounter. Now, if you've encountered this, here are the answers. Now, I want to turn to my personal belief as to what happens. I think that we're so used to these cache engines and short-term rentals being really profitable and really successful, and we count on it. But like any business, there's seasonality, there's cyclicality, there's weather patterns, there's changes in consumer behavior. People might be going to a different area. So just because something has changed for you doesn't mean that something is necessarily broken or that you've done something wrong. Now, the one thing that Amy does indicate here is that she's been consistently raising her prices, and she thinks she may have gone too far. And that's where I am going to focus my time and energy, because I think that's probably what's going to happen here. Especially if she's using dynamic pricing, because the way dynamic pricing works is you set your base price, and then based on availability and supply and demand and events and things like that, it'll actually leverage that higher. So a small change of $5 a night, and then another $5 a night the next night, and the next time another $5. That's $15, for example. But if you're doing dynamic pricing, that could be $45 or $50 or $70 more a night, and that's far greater than what she was anticipating. So it's very possible that she was clearing the market before she increased her prices, and as she started to increase a little bit, she continued to clear the market. People were booking her, but then she hit a certain threshold where she no longer cleared the market. She became uncompetitive, and there's plenty of other inventory at lower prices that were more competitive that were getting snapped up. Now, Amy, if you're watching this video, I'd love a comment below saying, how did May end up? Because it's also possible that you lowered your prices and you got bookings, and that would really substantiate my belief, which is that you may have reached a peak, gone a little too far, and became uncompetitive. And that's why you want to monitor these things and change them often. But I would love, Amy, if you're monitoring this video, if you're watching it, please go ahead and comment so we can all share. And I'd love to hear YouTube comments. Those were the Facebook comments. Different audiences. I don't know why everybody doesn't go to both places. If I were you, Facebook, go to YouTube. YouTube, go to Facebook. But nonetheless, YouTube, comment below. What do you think may have happened? How would you respond in your situation if you were in Amy's shoes? What would you do differently? Please let me know if you like this new video series that we're going to start doing by liking it and commenting below, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Thanks, friends. 48 hours straight travel, dropping knowledge. I hope you find it interesting. Charles, thanks for driving up here, my man.